crystal technology. I know a lot of people may think that crystals are not alive or maybe associated with some type of spookism, but that's just because of our really just our ignorance towards the subject. And a lot of reasons why we're ignorant to a lot of subjects is because it's not introduced or presented to us in school. So if the school system, the conventional school system today, doesn't speak on it, then we tend to think it's unscientific. So, but crystals actually do respond to life, respond to organisms, respond to us, and we respond to it as well. And what I mean by that is, before we even understood what crystals did, basically a big crystal is a mountain, basically. So when we went to different parts, different mountains in the region, in certain regions, wherever you may live, we discovered or noticed that being around certain mountains made you feel differently. They actually released a different type of energy, and in turn it actually promoted a certain emotional state inside of us. And that emotional state actually predates the physical world. And from there, we actually were able to dive more into the subject of crystals and what their properties were. Now remember how I say that all objective subjects were first subjective, meaning that when you Google something on your phone and see the properties or benefits of a herb or a crystal or anything that may not seem would be an academic subject per se, those properties and benefits came about being discovered from a subjective standpoint. So you can only get that subjectivity through dreams or being in some type of bond with that element or herb or plant or crystal or whatever it is you want to bond with. Remember, George Washington Carver was able to develop over 350 inventions from the peanut just by listening to it. In nature, whenever two energies have a genuine bond, secrets are exchanged. So what that means is nature will always reveal its secrets as long as you're bonded to it. A genuine bond, and then it will release secrets to you. It will tell you exactly what it does. So this is how we understand what crystals do today. So, for example, if you want to attract wealth in your life, more financial stability, then you would go into green jade or aventurine, those type of crystals. If you want to attract more friends, you would go into hematite. Now remember, a lot of these type of crystals actually have more than one usage properties. Hematite is also good for people who have anemic low iron levels. So keep in mind that there's a multiplicity of benefits and properties associated with these crystals as well. If you wanted to say you couldn't find work, you needed a job and you couldn't find it, it was becoming difficult, then you would go into a crystal called ruby, and that would help attract that in your life. If you needed to make a very impulsive decision and you feel like the risk was really great and you just didn't want to make the wrong decision, you would use a crystal called citrine for that. So there's many other crystals that help. If you want to create good energy, you go into clear quartz or good vibes. If you wanted to create friendship, you needed to attract friends, you would go into soldiers were actually put tiger's eye crystal in their sleeve or pocket. It would help them be more aggressive and more assertive, and it would help them, come out victorious in battle. So before you think this stuff is some type of spookism, look in your phone or study with your phone how it works or how your computer works, and you'll see that it only works because of a crystal. So crystal technology is not something that's not applied today. It's actually applied right now as I record this video. The earth itself is a crystal. So these different types of technology, we may not look at as technology, but they are very much technology, and they do help attract these things because they respond to the molecules in the body and synthesize it and actually promote the healing properties that they are responsible for doing. If you wanted to attract more wealth, like I said, use the venturing, but you want to put that into the opposite, your non-dominant hand or your non-writing hand, whatever hand you write with, you would put that in the opposite pocket, and that would help attract that in your life. So, because what that means is, if you're right-handed, then the left side of your body is the energy that you use to receive energy. So, if you want to receive certain things, you want to put that in your non-dominant pocket, or non-dominant hand pocket. Here's just a few crystals and gems that promote healing or whatever properties that they have. Structure, and our body responds to these things immediately. So I would say get you some crystals, whatever it is that you may want to promote in your life. Create that energy that's very conducive and inviting for the ancestors to come help you on this physical journey here. Remember when you were alive in your mother's womb, you were in the 4th dimension. When your mother's water breaks, you actually go into the 3rd dimension and you forget everything. So the 3rd dimension is what we drop into, but we came from the 4th dimension. This is why babies come out crying and confused, because gravity didn't exist and all these types of things in the 4th dimension. So when the water breaks, you forget everything you knew. But so you see babies actually have rapid eye movement when they're sleeping in their mother's womb. And they're dancing and smiling. But see, rapid eye movement is associated with what? Dreaming. What's the baby dreaming about? The baby's getting downloads into their pineal gland. On the 49th day, on day 49, the baby actually gets implanted with his purpose, his true life purpose inside the pineal gland, and it's supposed to carry that out throughout his life on Earth. The water breaks, and then the baby forgets it all. So it spends, the child or the human spends his whole life stepping back into that purpose again, if they discover what their purpose is again. Usually, because it's in your heart. So keep in mind that you want to keep your temple strong. The crystals help with that. You have the 5 temples. You have the temple of your head. So you have your mind. There's 1 temple. Your heart is your other temple. Then your body is your 3rd temple. And then your house is your 4th temple. And then nature is the 5th temple. Alright? If you take care of all 5 of those temples, then nature and your temples will take care of you. Alright? So keep those temples clean. That's what they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. So I don't want to keep this video too much longer. But if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment area. Like, subscribe, share. Remember, this is a lifestyle, not a diet.